Alright, so I said my goal was to start streaming before 9, and here we are at 9:01 because aren't I a liar? We are once again trying to stream Satisfactory, the experimental update 3. Last time I didn't get my mic working till 90 minutes in because it took me that long to realize I didn't have one plugged in. I didn't have my headset at all, and I just completely, brain farted on the whole thing. So the reason this stream is titled Galaxy's Second Worst Industrial Engineer is in reference to last time, because I'm sure this will still be super boring, but at least maybe it'll go better than that one did. And I'm already noticing I forgot to start up my chat, so let me do that real quick, and we will get going. Always on top, click through mode. Come on, Restream. Restream, you are just the worst. Reset window. Anyone trying to talk to me? I can't see you yet. Not that there's anyone watching. Oh my god. Let me just minimize everything else. You okay there, Restream? You gonna work for me? Oh, there it is. Okay. That properly positioned and sized, and put it back in click through mode. Now we can play. Now we can play the game. So, I've done a lot of work on this world since last stream. Not that anyone cares because nobody watched last stream. But we're just going to do a quick little factory tour, and then I'll get going on some small projects. I'm trying to just take this game one piece at a time, but still actually engage with the numbers puzzles and the optimization problems it presents. Because previous playthroughs, I was always stubbornly manually crafting things and not really engaging with the spirit of the game the way you're supposed to. And I think it really harmed my experience. I kind of grinded till I got Jetpack, and then it was now what do? There's nothing else I feel like doing. So I'm trying to actually experience this game for what it's supposed to be, and I've had a lot more fun with it. Granted, that also resulted in me spending literally hours of my life drawing nerdy-ass optimization flowcharts. I'm not going to try and show them to you because they're boring, but the point is I spent over an hour writing into a notebook for numbers on a video game. So yeah. Why is this taking so long to load? Oh my god. I swear it takes longer to load when I'm on stream. There we go. Alright, so here we are at the main factory. We're not going to go in there yet, though. I just want to show you around what I've got. We're going to start with some of the smaller stuff. So here's my hub. This is where we choose new milestones. I'm not really using the storage here because I have some chests in the big factory. But let's make our way down, preferably without hurting myself. I'm going to show some of the smaller operations, and that'll kind of give you a sense of scale for what a larger operation looks like by comparison. But already you're seeing this is a pretty big project. This is my central bus that I use to transport a wealth of materials from my extant mines to the big factory. You can see on my left we have 4 belts of 60 iron per minute each. To my right we have iron ore rather than iron bars. Those will be used for steel. We have some copper ore, so some copper ingots here. We got some cement. So we're going to start with the small production facility that's making these copper ingots and this cement. This is one of my more recent mini factories, and unlike the mini factories that were featured in last week's stream, these are actually part of the central power grid. So whereas the previous mini factories were standalone, and I had to go to them and give them fuel, and they'd operate and they'd run out of fuel, this is always on. So this is connected to the very big, very beefy main power grid. You can see up here is how much power it can make, and down here is how much power I'm actually using right now. So this is a small operation. We've got 1 normal copper ore, and the miner level I currently just have default miner Mach 1, which means I can get 60 ore per minute out of this node. And that goes into these smelters, and each of these smelters can smelt 30 ore into 30 ingots per minute. So I'm running 2 of them, splitting the belt into 2, and then those merge back into 1 belt of 60 ingots per minute, because this Mach 1 belt can do 60 units per minute. Right here, I'm doing something very similar with limestone. This is pure limestone, which means I will get 120 per minute, and then it's getting not smelted, but constructed into concrete, which basically these constructors are mushing up the rocks and putting it in bags. So these can each do up to 45 per minute, but I'm splitting it into 3. So this 120 belt is getting split into 3 groups of 40. So it's creating 120 concrete per minute, which is then going into this big container. But then this big container also belts out to another big container at the factory. So if I'm running around in the countryside, I can pick up concrete from here, and I can pick it up from the big factory. That way, if I want to make more foundations or whatever, I just always have concrete on hand for that, which is helpful if I want to climb a cliff face or something. I can, like, build staircases and platforms to get sort of where I want to be. So just having a few bags of concrete on you is helpful for the sake of getting around in this game. But that's not what we're doing right now. Right now we're doing factory tour. So that's just the copper and the concrete, and those replaced my standalone mini factories from last week. Let's take a look at where this material is coming from. This is essentially 6 belts just of iron. Iron is like the most used material in this game. You tend to want a lot of it. And these are all normal belts. I have access to Mach 2 belts now, which can move 120 units per minute. But when I built this, I only had normal belts, which move half as much. So over here we have 3 pure iron nodes, each of which produces 120 ore per minute. And because we're trying to actually engage with the optimization problems, we want to actually use all that. Of course, this is at a standstill right now because the iron at the end of the chain in my big factory is not currently being used. It fills up the chests and then the supply stops. What I want to do is I want to get a couple of big things running, and then all the extra gets dumped into a sink, which basically crunches up your excess material and turns them into points, and then those points can be used to buy upgrades and stuff. But right now this is at a standstill because the material down the line is not being used. But in an ideal scenario, this is pumping out 120 ore per minute, which splits into 260 belts, which splits into 4 smelters, so 120 becomes 4 30s. And once those are all smelted into iron, they merge back into 2 60s, which then join this bus here. So I do that pattern twice for 4 belts. Now, later on I'm going to be making steel, which requires me to combine raw iron ore with coal. So I want to also keep some natural ore that's not smelted. So rather than smelting this 120, I just split it into 2 60s, and I send them right on to the big factory. So that's everything that's happening over here. I have my old factory from last time, which is currently defunct, sitting over there. It's not even powered. I'm going to eventually disassemble it. But right now, I just haven't bothered. It's not really hurting anything. I'm just going to go reclaim those materials later. When I get bored doing my big projects, I'll go handle that. So we're just going to follow this back. I think I want to show you the power grid, like where all this energy is actually coming from. And then we'll take a look at the big factory. Oh, I should actually run on the belt now that I'm moving the same way that it is. I call these guys the management. They're these giant, docile, harmless creatures, and they're just always on my belts inspecting my production lines. They don't hurt anything, I just think it's funny how they just nonchalantly walk through the middle of the factory. So, that's my manager right there. Why does it seem like my supposedly always on top restream chat is not on top? Hey, restream chat, you wanna maybe do your job? You know I'm in borderless full screen mode. There we go, now I can see it. Doesn't look like anyone tried to talk to me yet though, so it's fine. Right, so here, I like how this looks. When I originally constructed this, oh shit, we're under attack. Just a second, gotta fight this guy. Get off of my production line. This guy was like stalking me. These guys are the worst because they shoot projectiles, and if you get close, they do this little fire blast to knock you back and make distance. I've kind of got the hang of kiting them now though. So when I was originally constructing this bus, I put the 2 steel on the left side, the steel ores, and then I realized that I actually wanted them to be on the right side, because when I come up here, everything is going to level 1 for iron production right here. So that would have meant the steel would have been right here in the middle of everything, and that's not what I want. I want them off to the side, out of the way, because they're going to go up to the 3rd floor later on. So what I actually had to do is I did an interchange here, where I had the 6 belts, and then these crossed over the top, and those went underneath. And, I mean, I could have just had them cross and mush into each other. It would have been gross, but it would have worked. I kind of wanted to make it look like an actual physical interchange, though, so I had to work out how to do that. And I'm not proud of how long it took me to figure out. And then I've just kind of added these 2 new belts recently, like yesterday. And those just go, there's the concrete box here, and these are going to go up to the 2nd floor for copper production. So these are just filling this box, and those will stop moving once that's full. So this is the big factory above me. That's going to be our last stop before I start actually working. But let's take a look at where the rest of this iron's coming from. Because in addition to the 4 belts of iron from over there, I've got, I think it's 6 more. Got 6 more coming in from down here. Is it 6? Or is it 5? I could have sworn these were in multiples of 2. Oh, you know what it is? I think some of these might be Mach 2 belts. Yeah. So I have... Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Never mind. I'll just get hurt. So I have 4 smelters here. These are pulling from, I think, 1 pure node. Yeah. So that's going to be 120 per minute. Split that into 4 30 belts for the smelters. Merge it into 2 60 belts. And then those head on up there. These here are actually 120 belts, because this bus was made after I unlocked Mach 2 belts. And those are coming from way over here, where there's another set of 3 pure iron nodes. And I kind of belted those in from way far away. It looks pretty much like what you just saw, so I'm not going to go all the way over there. But you can see I did some really, really long distance belting to get it to come from over there to here. And that's giving me 120 times 3, 360 more iron per minute on these belts. So that's why I've got 5, because these are worth double what those 2 were. But anyway, let's head down to the power plant, because I'm really proud of how this design came together, given how poorly planned it was on my part. Just use my maintenance ladder so I don't injure myself this time, because I'm low on food, because I keep injuring myself. So this over here is a big coal power plant. And in previous playthroughs, I felt bad about burning coal and hurting the environment, but I got attacked by the wildlife so many times while building this that I now do not care. Those goddamn lion warthogs can choke on coal smoke. I've got a helmet. Anyway, there's a pure coal node over there, which is mining and sending 120 coal per minute this way. And I've got a pure coal node on the other side, up on this cliff face, up there, which is mining and sending 120 coal this way, and they go into these. Now the complication, compared to previous versions of Satisfactory, is now you also need to pump water to mix with the coal to actually burn it. I don't actually know how that works, but apparently that's what it's like in real life. You need water for some reason. So I've got these 4 pumps out here. And this is a doozy, like how this pattern actually came together. Because, see, these junctions right here, these cannot be elevated off the ground. Like, when I am doing logistics and I make a conveyor pole, I can build those as tall as I want. Or, I mean, there's a limit, but the point is I can elevate them up to a few levels. If I'm building a pipeline junction cross, I can't elevate those. Those have to be on the ground. So, I was trying to get these off the ground, that way I could fit stuff underneath them. And basically what I ended up having to do was place them and then lower the ground beneath them. So each of these machines, there's 16 of these coal generators. Each of them needs water and also coal. So the water was simple enough. I came in and I just split the pipe off into each machine. And by having 6 pumps, that's enough to power 16 machines. Don't ask me how the math works. I looked it up on the wiki and it seems to be working fine. The complicated thing then was fitting all of the coal lines in, because I've got to take this 120 belt and split it into 8 to serve 8 of these machines. And I did not leave myself enough space to do that. I thought it was enough space, and then it wasn't. And rather than tearing the factory apart and making more space for myself, I stubbornly persisted. Oh hey, someone's actually here. You can I'm actually not sure if you can do that or not. I feel like that's probably possible, but that's not how I did it. I was very tired and very frustrated when I built this thing. To be honest, it was an all-nighter. So that's probably something I could have attempted and didn't. I will try that next time I have copper sheets in my inventory, because that's a good point. But no, what I actually did was I lowered the ground. And I ended up needing that space anyway, because to split this into 8 each, I was originally going to have one belt go along the left side, and the other belt go along the right side, but I realized that was never going to fit, because I'd have to have 2 belts in the middle next to each other. So I tried a bunch of different designs. A lot of them were really gross, just a mess of really compact splitters and joiners. What I ended up doing is a little bit conveyor belt spaghetti, but I'm happy with how it came out. So I belt in the middle here, and then I lower this down on 2 sides. So it comes in here and it comes in here. And then this goes back to this splitter, which splits a third time. So splitting 3 times, we serve 4 machines in back here. And then this one, which came forward from the middle, serves 4 machines in the middle here. So essentially we're splitting the belt 3 times. And we do the same thing on the other side. It turned out that this elevated splitter was the key to making enough space for myself, because these conveyors, these conveyor lifts are really nice, because not only can you change the vertical height, but you can make right angle turns instead of curves. So we go into that elevated splitter from here, and then we go down into 2 elevators, and then that serves that splitter, and that serves that splitter, which splits a 3rd time, and then we serve 2 machines each for a total of 8, all things said and done. So essentially it's that convoluted pattern twice. The first one, it took me like 2 hours to figure out how to do all this. The second time replicating it took me like 5 minutes. It was so nice. Yeah, I still haven't done trains. Like, honestly, trains scare me a little. But now that I'm finally trying to go big, like, I'm hoping that I'll be up for it this time. Because my last factory was just very derpy, very spaghetti. I didn't plan anything out. I didn't like try and optimize for the numbers. I was just like cramming in what I could to kind of limp my way to each of the next milestones. And it worked, but it was bad, and there was so much manual crafting. But anyway, that's my power solution, and that gives us. It's a really over-engineered setup, is what it is. Someone with more talent at this game would have known to leave more space. Where am I going? This fog started and I couldn't find my ladder. So that's my power solution. We get 1,200 megawatts per minute, or just in general. I'm not sure if there's not really a time unit to it. Megawatt hours, that's the unit. Per minute would be. We'd need to get to nuclear power for that. But yeah, that's gonna power everything for a long time. I foresee, like, by the time I'm big enough to need more power, I'll probably be ready to work on nuclear power plants. And once you have nuclear power plants, that's endgame. Like, you're never gonna need more than that, really. So yeah, we've got something like, I don't even know how much iron per minute we have. We have a ton of iron coming in, and we have a ton of power coming in. And I haven't done that much with these resources yet, but I do have one big machine I'll show you. And then I got a couple small machines I want to do before we start on the next big project. So this is like our biggest foundation platform, and actually I haven't finished this up yet, because I ran out of concrete and got distracted last time. We'll just do that real quick. Finish up my main platform. I'm actually about to add a 2nd floor. I haven't even finished laying the 1st floor yet. Alright, there's our 1st floor. Got all these constructors here. So this big machine is making reinforced plates. And basically what's happening is I've got all these belts coming in, and we're making, I think you need 3 iron plates per minute. You need 3 iron ingots per minute to make 1 iron plate. So that's feeding into here. Each 30 belt is giving me 20 iron plates per minute, like that. I forget how many of those I have, but we're making a bunch of iron plates. And then we're also making iron rods over here. So we've got, out the back here, we have iron rods coming into joiners. And over here we have iron plates coming into joiners. And the way the math shakes out when this whole thing is actually moving, it should be optimal, because we're going to be making iron plates and screws into reinforced plates. So the only question that leaves is, where did these screws come from? From whence did they come? So you can see I've got screws feeding into each of these 4 assemblers. And if we go back here, we've got our iron rods being made into iron screws. And the way that works is we're basically joining each of these 30 belts into, I think this is is that a 60 belt? That's a 60 belt. Yeah. Oh, because these make 15 per minute. So we're joining into... I wish it wasn't nighttime right now so I can actually see what I'm looking at. A little bit blind. Okay, yeah, I remember. So we want 10 rods in each of these machines. But we have 15 rods coming out of each of these machines. So we add 2 15s together for a 30 here. And then we split the 30 into 3 10s. So that we get exactly 10 rods per minute in each machine, which creates 40 screws per minute. And then we assemble. So we have all these constructors making screws. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like 6 constructors making screws, I think. And that's giving us, I think, 60 on top, 60 on bottom, for a total of 120 screws per minute, I believe. One way or another, I don't remember the math. I have it written down somewhere. But we've got 2 belts of screws coming in here, and just for extra fancy, I stacked them vertically. And we've got this kind of awkward little hump to get over that iron plate feed. But the point is, each of these constructors gets screws and iron plates. And I think it looks okay. Like if we go up a bit for a bird's eye. I think it looks pretty industrial, looks pretty clean. I really like how that 2-layer conveyor looks right there. So this is my big machine to make reinforced iron plates. And when I was doing my last playthrough where I had tons of manual crafting, reinforced iron plates were always just such a pain in the ass. I hated making them. I didn't have an optimized machine to make them. I was just always manually feeding a constructor. But now I have this giant ass box, and whenever I pull iron plates out of it, like I'll pull 6 here to top off my stack, it just makes more, and it's beautiful, and I don't have to do anything. So, like, a really talented player would probably scale this up and start making, like, 100 plates per minute or something. But I've got 4 constructors here, 4 assemblers here, making 20 reinforced plates per minute. And that's more than I'm ever going to need, because I can fill a whole box. I can stack another empty box and leave and come back to it full. Like, it's nice. It's a very convenient quality of life thing. This tiny machine here just turns leaves into solid biofuel. Nothing really much to see there. So that's pretty much everything I've got right now. I've done a lot of shuffling around and reorganizing. I've done a lot of long distance belts. But the reinforced iron plates are pretty much the biggest machine I've built so far. So what I'm going to do right now is a nice simple one. My next plan is I'm going to make rotors with all of these iron rods. Because for rotors, all you need are, what was it? Yeah, you just need screws and rods, and you can make screws out of rods, so really you just need rods to make rotors. And that's why all of these machines are nothing but iron rods, and we're gonna make a rotor factory. And then after that, probably modular frame factory, but we're not gonna do that yet. I recently disassembled my copper mini factory, and I haven't replaced it yet. So we're gonna take this lift of 60 copper ingots per minute, and we're just going to make a simple second floor smaller than this one. And the second floor is going to be copper operations. First, it's just going to build wires and maybe some cables and some copper sheets. It's eventually going to be expanded to, I forget what the alloy you make with copper. It'll handle that too. But we're not going to build the whole floor. We're just going to build as much as we need. So I guess my first question is, how tall do I need my first floor to be? Because that's going to determine how big I make my second floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here, and we're going to get some foundation walls, and we're going to see how high we have to go before we avoid encroaching in clearance, and we're going to maybe do 2 more blocks on top of that just to be safe. Oops. Alright, so if we were to set a foundation... I don't know why I'm going in there, because I have hotkeys. I'm using the second thickness of foundations, generally. So that's the minimum height for this floor. And just to be safe and to avoid feeling claustrophobia, I'm going to make it 2 walls higher than that. What we want is 1, 2, 3, 5 walls. But I'm not going to build them over here. We're going to go over here near the conveyor lift that I've already built. And that's where we're going to start. So I was careful to leave some space here. I might encroach this belt, I'm not sure yet, and that would be a headache because I don't really have room to adjust things further. But, I don't know, worst case I'll extend the floor a little bit out. You stop moving me? There we go. Alright, so, moment of truth. Does this fit, or am I about to have a bad time? I like how the iron one looks better, I guess. Sadly does not fit. Maybe those can just be external belts. Or I could just not bother with walls and just get to the proper height and build my next floor and worry about walls later. 2, 3... If I'm going to fiddle with my foundations, I will do it off stream because that's easily the dullest thing I could spend a stream doing. And I don't want this stream to be boring like the last one was. 4, 5... That's where my second floor is going to be. And we're not going to worry about walls for now. Now I got to get up there, which is our next step. I could just extend this ladder, or maybe put a second ladder right next to it. Yeah, let's do it that way. Might be the least headache-inducing way to add access to the second floor. Eventually I'm going to have staircases, but I don't think I have those researched yet. In fact, I know I don't have them researched yet, so... Tough cookies. Give myself a little space compared to that. And... I have to adjust where this is positioned. Actually, I want to be able to climb directly up to there. Actually, we got some space here. We could just put it right. Because these are meant to represent... This is a note to self that these spots are going to go to the 3rd floor later, so those aren't even a concern yet. Those are just going to be lifts. So let's go right here. That seems to be as good a spot as any. Doesn't really... it does kind of obstruct. Let's go 1 space back. Now I can easily climb down here, or I could keep climbing to the 3rd floor. Or 2nd floor, rather. Not really counting the ground below as a floor. Let's see if we are able to reach. Maybe 1 more. I guess I'd rather it be a little too high than a little too low so I can safely jump on it. Alright, now let's just go get our conveyor lift. I'm going to start by just putting it way too high to find the position, and then we're going to... Where did it go? Still down there. Or did I deconstruct it when I wasn't paying attention? I could have sworn I already had a copper conveyor lift. I guess I removed it when I wasn't paying attention. Oh, it was right there. Okay. So we're gonna go from right there. I think this is a 120 belt, isn't it? No, it's just a 60. That's gonna go up to there. We'll see if I guess that height right in a minute. Connects up. And I've got 21 copper just sitting in my inventory now, but whatever. Yeah, I didn't notice until after. And of course I've guessed the height wrong, but that's okay. So what we're going to do, so that I don't have to keep guessing, is we're just going to build one of these right here. Of course it won't line up properly, but we'll get to that in a second. Start it at the top, and we'll head down to the bottom where things are a little bit more flexible. Don't fall off the ladder again. There we go. Of course it's encroaching clearance. I've got to build it further to the right. Let's just do this. Just for temporaries, I'm just going to get myself a ladder right here while we figure this all out. I'm probably going to fall off this ladder by accident because I'm a clod, but whatever. Alright, so I said it needs to be a little bit further in this direction. That ought to do. That's seriously going to encroach no matter what I do, because it's trying to go right through there. Needs to be like right hereabouts. I'm just going to have to leave it in the air and line things up after. Which direction did that entrance go? Can't see what I'm doing from down. I can't see what I'm doing down there when I'm all the way up here. Oh, if I go out there, I can see the direction properly. All right, so I think that's the way it needs to be. I just really don't like how that looks. Alright, I'm going to fuss with it a little bit more, and if I can't get it perfect, it's whatever. I can always fuss with it later. See, that's what I always do. I fall right off the damn ladder. I'm trying to look around while I climb down. What is this graphical glitch? So that gets in there. Why does it look like that? This weird red glass. Whatever, I'm sure it'll sort itself out next time I reload the game. Alright, that should... yeah, it's weirdly white on this side. Is it because the arrows were rendering funny, or... whatever. Alright, so we got copper here. Oh, I don't like that. Trying to get my belts at right angles, and it just doesn't want to work with me. There we go. Alright, so we got copper coming in on the second floor. And we're just going to get some constructors started. I'd like to get them on roughly the same grid as I'm using below, but I don't really need 2 full tiles of space before I start, because it's going to be a much smaller production area. Something like maybe 1 full tile of space before we start. I'm not going to be using as much copper, so I don't really need an entire area just for juggling it. I like to space the structures apart a little bit more, because you can't jump over. Oh, now I can jump over. Why could I never jump over these arms before? I've jumped off. That's what I was trying to do. What I was trying to do is examine the positioning on these that I know how they line up with tiles above. Got this foot is one spot over, and then this one is spaced apart. And then this is 2 over. So they're a little bit off size because I'm putting spaces between all the constructors. Let's just first figure out how many we're actually going to need for this setup. Because we're only belting in 60 units of copper. And the two things we want to make are wire, and then some of the wire is going to become cables, and we want sheets. This takes 20 per minute. And this takes 15 per minute. So I don't like that, because I could evenly divide it into 3 constructors of copper sheets, or I could make 4 constructors of wire, but I can't very well get both of those things out of a 60 belt in an optimal fashion. I could go and overclock my copper mine to get this turned into a 120 belt, and then I could do both, which would mean we'd want a total of 7 machines. So, not to fall this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'd need that much space. Yeah, let's just do that. We're gonna turn this into a 120 belt, and just for the sake of appeasing my mild OCD-like mannerisms, we're going to make this the same corner as the floor below, and we're gonna work from there. That way I can get all the grids roughly lined up. Heck, screw it. I'll even include the same amount of empty space on the front side, even though for copper belts we probably don't need it. This is why we have tons of concrete, so I can just have more space than I need. One of my biggest constant mistakes last playthrough was always trying to cram things into very small spaces. And the amount of time you spend trying to save space is just not worth it. You're better off just giving yourself more space than you need. And you can always cut down later if you decide to. Oh my god, this lag. I don't know why this version of the game just randomly gets stuck sometimes. It's kind of the worst. I'm just going to leave this gap open, I guess. I'll eventually build around, but I need some way to access this ladder. The ladders are temporary till I get staircases. So we're going to, starting on this side, make 7 constructors. That'll get me nice and even with what the floor below is doing. Yeah. Did I include a space between the constructor and the wall? Yeah, I did. Not that it really matters, but it matters to me, okay? And it was a little bit further back, too. I think because you know what I was doing? I was lining it up with the front of this tile rather than the back. Like that, I think. But also I need to give myself more space. Like that. That way I can walk in between these arms. Why do I feel like this still doesn't line up the way I want it to? Did I include 2 tiles? I think I included two squares of space there. I swear I'm going to stop being obsessive about this in 1 second. I'm trying to compare vertically without falling off the damn thing, and it's kind of tough. You know what? Be a much easier way to compare this is just take a belt and go straight down. Not super precise from this viewing angle. And I've fallen again. Compelling content, ladies and gentlemen. I really like the new slide for getting past conveyor belts easier. Makes my life so much easier, given that I don't have proper walkways for any of my factories yet. What I could do is just use a ladder as a measuring stick. That'd be the easier thing. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I want a corner of this machine to line up with that ladder. Makes my life much easier to figure out what's going on. Not quite close enough. That's too close. Playing a little game of too hot, too cold here. Oh my god. You know, if I just did it from this side, I have a much easier time. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That took way longer than it should have, and you can see why it takes me forever to get anything done in this game. Just far too meticulous about shit that doesn't matter. 2 constructors. 3. 4. Now we're moving. 5. 6. 7. Right, we are in business. Very nice. Let's get our first row of foundations behind them as well. Right. So just like the floor below, I'm going to put my copper... well, I put iron plates on the left on the floor below. So I guess I'll put my copper sheets on the left here. Those need 20 per minute, whereas wire uses 15 per minute. Yep, I like that symmetry. We're going to do 3 copper sheets. That'll be 180 belt. We're going to do 4 copper wire. That'll be... Did I say an 80 belt? I meant a 60 belt. 80 belts are not a thing. 4 copper wire. That'll be a 60 belt. More of that. Very nice. Let's fill this out real quick. Never have too much space. And I am out of concrete. Yes, I'll accidentally fall down and hurt myself. But then intentionally climb down. This is the nice thing about having my concrete mini factory pumping concrete directly to here, is I can just do this. Grab 500 concrete like it's nothing. And organize my inventory obsessively, because that pretty much describes my personality. Yeah, plenty of concrete to go around. Oops, God damn. I wish these ladders were a little more idiot-proof, because I'm always jumping off them by accident. Like, most of the damage I take is jumping off of ladders. Alright, anyway, finishing up this foundation. There we go. And we've got all our machines ready. So, the belt for the sheets needs to be split into 3. That's easy. We just use a single splitter. Like so. And then we do standard belts. I like to line them up with right angles like this. looks a little nicer. There we go. So that will split one 60 belt into 3 20 belts for our copper sheets. And then we're going to split one 60 belt into 4 15 belts. So we want to split twice. So there we go. Actually, I want to turn this so that it splits from right to left. You'll see why in a second. This will split from left to right. And this, in the middle, will split from front to both sides. Belt there, belt there. So 60 goes in here, 30 comes out each side. And then 30 splits into 2 15s, like this. 15, 15, 15, 15. There's a 4-way splitter, 1 to 4. Now we just need iron. I generally consider copper wire to be a bit more useful, so we're going to start with that. And then I'll just get a splitter in there when, you know, let's I'm not in any huge hurry. Let's get it all wired up before we split again. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to here. I really did not need as much space as I gave myself, but whatever. Just give ourselves a nice generous amount of space. And we're going to split this way. Is that in the middle of this tile? Yeah. That's going to go straight in there, so that'll be 160 belt coming from our 120 belt. And this will come in here. So that's going to split 120 to 60 and 60. And then we just need to supply this. Make sure that lines up properly. Not quite. There we go. That'll feed those. Not yet though. I'll connect it at the end. Alright, so the next step is we want to double this into a Mach 2 belt, so that it'll supply 120 per minute, which means this needs to be a Mach 2 lift. Let me just get those in my hotbar. And let's follow that back and upgrade the entire thing back to our copper mini factory. So that's Mach 2. This is still Mach 1. Let me upgrade that. This. Upgrade that. Gotta climb down again. Really can't wait until I have proper staircases. Alright, so this is a Mach 2. And we've got to upgrade every segment of this conveyor belt. Bear with me, it'll take a second. I know when I'm pointing at the belt and it turns blue, that's a Mach 1 belt that I can upgrade in place. I don't gotta even pick up the old belt. It just does that for me. I did not bring power shards, did I? I need power shards to upgrade the miner when we get there, so let's go grab those now before I have to make this whole trip twice. So the corner I showed you with my little biofuel machine, that's where I've got all my storage right now. I could move some of it to my hub now that my hub is here, which would be nice because it's on the closer side of the factory to my intakes, but not got around to doing that yet. Here we are. We're going to need some power shards. I don't know how many, so I'm literally going to just grab the whole stack. Wholly unnecessary, but that's what I'm going to do. And I'm probably going to run out of reinforced plates, so let's grab some of those before we go. Don't need all these right now. Don't need copper. Not need monster meat. But maybe it wouldn't kill me to bring more reinforced plates just in case. Bring 600, just so I don't run out and then I end up griping about it. Alright, now we have our power shards, and we can start heading for the copper mines again. Cannot wait till I have Blade Runners. This run speed is so slow. Blade Runners are great for when you want to run off cliffs even faster, like I do. Oh my god, these guys again, for real, dude? You want to go? No? Let's go. Aw, dick. I'm going to have to take a roundabout route back from the copper mines so that I can gather more food, because I'm seriously low on barrel nuts. I'm trying to save the higher value foods for when I have medical inhaler crafting. Yeah, I literally have no barrel nuts left. Ugh. Alright, back to what I was doing before I was so rudely interrupted by the locals trying to stop me from turning their world into a factory wasteland. Hello, manager. Yep, just strolling through, I see. Read that. Oh, I feel like I do so much running back and forth in this game. Read that. That. I'm always paranoid I'm going to miss a segment when I do these. Some of the segments are small because I try and make them cosmetically nice. And then I fall off the belt like a dingus. There we go. There we go. And I fall off the belt. Almost there. Alright, so this is now a belt 2 all the way back to the smelters. Of course, if I'm going to double my mining speed, I'm going to have to double the number of smelters. And these rocks everywhere are going to make it hard to fit more smelters without it looking gross. But we're going to see what we can do. So let's do that last. Let's just get these smelters in here first. I don't like overlapping foundations, but you do what you gotta do. At least it's not clipping through a belt. Can I just build this straight up in a rock? Is that allowed? Sure, why not? I hate it, but okay. Does this fit? No, it does not. In that case, I am not going to intersect a rock. It would be nice if I could have put it all on a grid, but move this left a little, make room for a little bit more there. I could just back the whole operation up. I think that's what I might do. Yeah, we're going to save the game, and I'm going to deconstruct this whole smelter operation and rebuild it real quick. Because I obsess over making these things look nice, like a dork. Can toss that, 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 that. See where we are. Let's just we're gonna deconstruct the whole damn thing. It'll be quicker to just redo it real quick. There we go. I have so much copper and ore in my inventory that I'm just gonna throw out, which always makes me feel sad and wasteful, but whatever. Is this still fully powered? Yeah, this is still good. It's still replacing that 500 concrete I grabbed a little while ago. Yeah, okay. We're gonna just leave that alone, and we'll connect to that when this part's ready again. So I'm gonna just get out of this rocky area real quick. I'll leave that there since that's connecting the main line. Oh, fix it, chest. Something didn't fit in my inventory. It's fine. Okay, yeah, so we need space for... I don't really need this beacon here anymore because... Of course, I don't have the inventory space yet for it, do I? Put it in my tool belt. Never mind, we'll pick that up after we're done reconstructing things. So I need to fit 4 smelters in a row. Let's see how wide a space we can get ourselves here. I need to make sure I leave room for the actual miner, so let's construct that now. Oh, I want it facing the other way though. But it does fit, that's a good sign. There we go. I can pick this up because this area is already easy enough to find. Alright, let's see if I can fit 4 smelters on 3 tiles. If I remember correctly, I think I can. I think I can. One, 2, 3. Does it just barely not fit? I swear to God. I think it would fit if I wasn't encroaching the miner. Let's try starting them on this side. That's some semblance of centered. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, now it fits. It's not encroaching the miner. I like how it's all neatly lined up. Alright, so we're going to have one 120 belt, which we need to split into 4 30 belts, same as we did at the big factory for the wire. Do not buzz at me, phone. So let's just start with... And we're not going to do the splitters facing in because I think that gets a little too cramped. Yeah. But we're going to do something similar. That nice and close. And then another one right here. Did that line up properly? Yes, it did. Okay. Here so I can see better. I got 1, 2, 3, belt number 4 right here. What was that sound? Am I about to get attacked? Hello? Oh. Was it you, manager? I didn't see you there. Yes, okay. Alright, we got 4 belts here. We just gotta split into those once. So I'll just add a single foundation here. And then another splitter. Like so. And then that can go like this. I did not mean to construct that. And this can go like that. There we go. So this splits to these 2, splits to 4, and we get 4 belts of 30 copper ore per minute. Just got to connect a Mach 2 belt to here. Excuse me, sir. There we go. that look awful? No, it's actually okay. And this is going to need to be overclocked to double the normal speed. Oh, I needed just 2 cores. I did not need to bring 20. I forget how much power that takes. Normally this is a 5 megawatt machine, but we're going to see. I think it goes up to like 15. It like triples the power consumption when you double the output. Oh yeah, and these are going to merge down to a single 120 belt again. Let's just do that now in the same fashion that we did the splitting. Logistics 8. Where are my mergers? 7. One right there. One right here. Why is my background music not playing this whole time? There we go. How long has that been muted for? Since the start, I think. Well, it wouldn't be a satisfactory stream if I didn't miss some big detail. I could do worse than forgetting my background music. Alright, so that and that merge to here. That and this merge to here. That gives me 260 belts. I just gotta merge one more time. And we can do that right here. Like so. This rock's gonna get in the way. Whatever, it's close enough. Still looks relatively clean. We'll get our 120 belt out here. So we just need to connect up to that. I like how this rebuild caused that grid to line up with this grid for the most part. Their offsets are a little different, but they're still pretty cleanly connected, and that makes me happy. That goes in a nice clean straight line. Make sure that's conveyor belt Mach 2. As is that one. And then we connect down like so. Nice. Now we just gotta replace this pole because I want it to be over here. Oh, now I gotta power up those too. No, I wanna put it right here. Move that. Now we're gonna wire from. Excuse me, belt. Please stop moving me. Here to here, and from here to here. Nice. Now I can remove this. Now this has power. Make sure this is this is still online. I think it's all good. So now we're gonna take this. I need to power these 4 things over here. So put one right there. And this can power 1, 2. Do not like how that's clipping through. I'll try that again in a second. Let's just take this and add another pole right here. Nice. I'm just going to suck it up and let it clip through because I don't want to have to do a bunch of extra work to make it look nicer. Actually, that should line up, right? Yeah, that doesn't clip anything. It just goes right there. It's that one that clips. Oh, we're just going to do it. We're going to stop being a big baby about the aesthetics. Oh, it bothers me so much, though. The puzzle of getting things to not clip. You know what we can do? Oh, let's just go further towards the back. Because we can reach. In this nice straight line. Put a pole right here. And now we can access these power connections nice and cleanly. Can I put this pole? Can I put this here instead? Yeah. And I can put one over here, again in a nice straight line. Nice, nice. So now this can power the miner and one of the smelters. And then this can power the other 3 smelters. 1, 2, 3. That should be everything nice and powered. And I think the wires look pretty clean. They're not going to bother me now. Why do you have no power? This has no power. This is connected to this, which is not connected to that, which is what it needs to be connected to. Okay, let's fix that real quick. Excuse me. I can't get by here. I'll just go around. And my game's freezing. Stop freezing, please. There we go. Alright, so instead of powering this, this is going to power that. Of course it clips. Whatever, I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it. But the point is now, this guy can connect to this guy, and we are online. Look at that go. Alright, the last step, and I think I already did it, is to overclock this. It's taking about 3 times as much power as normal, which I expected. These are all going to smelt 30 per minute, which is going to merge down to 120 per minute. And we're off to the races. I'm super paranoid that this is going to have a Mach 1 belt somewhere in there, and it's going to mess up the whole plan. But whatever. Okay, we're going to go double check the belts real quick, because it's the only way to resolve my paranoia. Mach 2. 2. 2. 2. Here's something chasing me in the background. Alright, lift, Mach 2. Just one more belt to check. 2, 2. Alright, we're good. Let's go see it in action. Alright, so this should be giving us 120 units per minute. Let's connect it up. And that's going to split into 2 60 belts. There they are. And, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I didn't power any of these new constructors. Let's do that next. Am I supplying power to the first floor? Right here? Oh, I don't know if this is going to be the final solution, but for now let's just grab that and we'll just grab it from the same spot and bring it up. Oh my god, lag, please no. Please stop lagging. Just because all this lag's making me paranoid, we're going to save the game again. Alright, so we got to just power all these now. And see if I can remember the pattern I used downstairs. Just right behind every other machine, I think. Oh. Does the first machine have one? The first power pole goes between machines 1 and 2, and it's just off the foot right there, so that's what we're going to do here as well. Let's have a power pole between machines 1 and 2. There's our little foot. Right. Now I just make another one of those every other machine. So we skip this machine and we put one right here. Skip this machine, put one right here. One right here. And then I connect machines up to the closest power pole, like so. And I'm out of cable. Make some more copper cable real quick. Alright, so that should all be connected now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Why does this look different? Let's point at each machine. That would tell me if any of them aren't powered yet. Alright, cool. So now I just gotta connect this guy to that guy over there. Like so. And all these should come to life. Alright, cool. So, I don't have any plans to do anything automatic with the copper sheets just yet. It's gonna be a while before I need more tubes. I'm just gonna filter those into a box. We got one copper. We got 3 machines making copper sheets. So I can just put those into a single merger. Like so. And these can just go right in there, and these are each producing 10 per minute, so a standard Mach 1 belt is more than enough. That's 1 connection, 2 connections. Oh my god, game, stop lagging, please. 3 connections. Here's all of our copper sheets coming in right there. And then at this point, I am just gonna put them in a box. Okay. Don't want it hanging off the edge. And this is making, what was it? Making 30 per minute, so standard belt is fine. Those go in the box, and it'll keep producing till this box is full, and then these machines will halt. How are we doing on power capacity? Not much higher than the start of the stream. Right, so the wires aren't going to get much more complicated. I just want to make some of them into cable, and then I want to store the wires and the cables to separate boxes. So let's just take a look at the constructor recipe for cables real quick. Need more space. So a cable takes 60 wire per minute, and basically takes 2 wire to 1 cable. This is making 15 per minute, which means for optimal capacity I would want to take 4 of these, but I don't really want to make all of my wire into cable. So I think we should just take 1 constructor and take 2 of these into 1 constructor and throttle it back to 50% power usage. Because I don't need like infinite cable, I just want to gradually build some up over time so that I don't have to manually craft it the way you saw me doing a second ago. So let's just get 1 merger, like we did here. Put that right in there. That right in there. So now we've got 30 copper wire per minute coming in. And do I really want to keep going this way, or I'm really only going to make 1 machine? So maybe I'll go sideways and put it in a box. Is that going to look any good? We'll test it. Maybe I line this box up. Can that fit? Not really. I'd like it if it did fit, but I don't think it's gonna fit. Maybe I could just put these boxes straight out and like right next to each other. That might look nice. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Let's pick up a bunch of wire real quick. Sheets, rather. Like that. Uh-huh. There's something I was curious about that we didn't have the sheets to test earlier. Let's see if our suggestion from chat to try elevating a pipe junction actually works. So let's say we have a pipeline like so, and I start building a pipe off of it. Oh, you know what? I think I'm remembering why you can't elevate these. So if I want to take this pipeline, I could elevate the pipe like this. The question is, can I now directly connect a pipe splitter to that? Actually, yes. I did not realize that before. So that is the play. In order to elevate a pipe splitter, you construct an elevated support, and then you deconstruct the support, and then you construct an elevated splitter off of the already elevated pipe. Slightly unintuitive. You can see why I didn't get it when I was on no sleep. But yeah, cool. That's really good to know for next time. For now, I'm just going to put these back. What was I doing? I don't need to be carrying 3 stacks of copper ore. Stacks of copper ore. I guess while I'm here... No, I can't just dump my stuff in storage because it's on the bottom floor. I was going to... Right. I was going to make myself a chest of cables. Let's see if we can fit this in here. What we can do is we're going to have these just be wire, and then we're going to have those 2 over there become cable. So this will just go directly into... These will just go directly into a chest. Not exactly the fanciest design, but keeps everything nice and clean. Actually, if I'm not putting a constructor in here, I have enough space to make these sideways chests, so let's do that. That go in? It goes in. Alright. Cool. And we're going to do the same thing right here. There we go. Oh, those copper sheets construct really fast. Faster than I'm ever going to need them. Alright, so we got 2 chests nice and lined up. Let's go make our cable constructor. Yeah, I like how this is organized because we have the 2 first order materials, and then on the end we're going to have the second order material. So much like the first 2 sets, we're going to make a merger right here, like that. Why is this not? Oh, I put the output on the wrong side. Derp. And I've mispositioned that. Try one more time. There we go. So now we've got 60 wire here, and this is going to get made into cable. I don't know what I'm going to construct over there. For now, let's just add a constructor right in a straight line off of this. See where that ends up. That's going to make cables for us. And I'm going to take this constructor directly into a chest. See if I can get it to line up with these. Probably not. Maybe if I bump it out one more. I just want everything to line up pretty, guys. Oh, come on, stop lagging. Literally can't move. There we go. Wait a minute, is Restream... Restream, you're supposed to be in click-through mode. Come on now. Okay, back to what I was doing. What are you doing, Blueprint? There we go. That actually fits nice and doesn't encroach anything. Like, a lot better than I expected. How's our spacing? We got 1, 2 cubes of space here. We got 1, 2... it's a little bit different, but beggars can't be choosers. Question is, can I get a belt in here? No, I cannot. I don't think I can move this chest any closer than it already is. So that design is... we're going to have to compromise on that design. It was a nice thought. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to line it up like this. And I think that puts the mouth of the chest even with mouth of the... what happens if I just do this? Nope, don't like that. Gotta bump the chest back 1 slot. There we go. Now when we do this, we get a nice even straight belt like so. And this will be where our cable end up as soon as we power this constructor, which we can do nice and simple like this. Normally I'd have a whole line of constructors and I have another line of power cords, but this is just one simple little machine, so we won't over-engineer it. Not yet. Maybe later. Alright, so now we're going to have a box of copper sheets, a box of copper wire, and a box of cable. That's pretty much all I intended to do on this floor. This is kind of a smaller project. I might add like some bigger stuff to this floor later, and there's certainly plenty of room to expand. But for now, I'm happy with where this is, and we can stop futzing with it. That being the case, I don't need any of this yet. Like, any of it. I can get out of here. Now I get this nice aerial view of our lower floor that I almost fell into. And I put the ladder over here. Not really, so we're not going to try. Oh, and I've done fallen off. That's fine. Now would be a good time to go scavenging for food before we do our next construction project. Because I need to eat to keep my health up from all the falling off ladders I do. One quickie construction project we can knock out real fast is building the space elevator, which I recently deconstructed, and I'd like to put it back on the map down here. I think it would look nice down there. Oh god, there's monsters down there. Let's just eat some of the food in the fridge to heal up real quick, even if I'm trying to save this kind of food for later. At least I only need to eat half as many. Organize my inventory real quick. Not need to bring this many reinforced plates, but now they're in my inventory and they're I can't very well put them back. We'll just put them in bulk storage. As with this and this. I think that's organized enough for now. I don't need to be fussing with my inventory on stream. So for the space elevator, I need like 500 concrete and 50 more iron plate. Right, that's plenty of iron plate. And how much more wire? That'll do, sure. Let's just go grab that concrete. Oh yeah, this is what prompted me to go move my concrete factory, because I was trying to reconstruct my space elevator and I didn't have enough concrete. And I got distracted by so much other stuff I didn't build the space elevator. Let's go right to our little concrete storage here and grab as much as we need. There's the 500. I'm going to just carry 200 more around on my person going forward. Let's head over to the construction site I've picked out. I am short 100 iron rods. Back to storage we go. A little bit hard to see what my material requirements are because they're kind of covered up by the chat, because I'm a loser with a one-screen setup, because my computer is on a rolling table, or at least my monitor is, so that I can roll it out of the way when I'm doing VR games. Here's my storage. Nope, not that one. This one. There we go. That ought to be plenty. I'm starting to empty out this bulk chest. Alright, so we want to go clear some leaves and trees down here. I'm going to have to fight some of those annoying magma flies too. I'm not looking forward to that. I should jump down without hurting myself. That's something at least. Let's just clear anything in this big open area. Not that. Chainsaw. There we go. There we go. Nice. I think that's almost enough. Let's just clear this as well. I'll leave that because it produces food sometimes. Yeah, this is about as clear as it needs to be. This little booger. You, fight me. Ouch. They always get me at least once. Now I think we can make that space elevator and clear out my inventory. I would like to build it from above so I can see the positioning better. And I don't think I have a ladder that goes up from here. So rather than doing the work smarter, not harder thing and just making one, I'm going to run all the way around because too lazy to start building. Alright, here we go. Space elevator. How do I want this positioned? Let's get the console actually facing the right way for once. I never get it facing the right way. Where does that put the pipes, though? In the back, huh? That's fine. Console facing this way, and then half the pipes are vaguely facing the base. Actually, the nicest looking placement I've ever had for a space elevator. Like, it actually looks like it fits there. I never have a big enough site for it. Such a cool building. And there we go. Space elevator reassembled. Haven't saved my game in a while. I know there's autosaves, but I don't trust them. Alright, I think the last thing I'm going to do for the night is I'm going to build my big rotor machine, which hopefully won't be as much work as my reinforced plate machine was. Before I do that, I have been chugging a lot of water, so I'm gonna go get rid of the water. Hey, mister, you causing trouble? Mr. Silvers. Alright. Back to what I was doing. I guess we're okay on... I don't really need to scavenge for food right now because I have a little bit in the fridge. Let's just focus on actually doing some factory construction. First, of course, it's going to drive me crazy if I don't clear out my inventory, and I need to pick up some more basic materials real fast. Well, we'll just do that real quick. Leaves, no thank you. Oh wait, leaves go in here. They can become actually useful. Yep. And we'll craft our wood into biomass real fast. And that can go into the biomass converter. Didn't I have some wood stored? Oh yeah, it's in this last chest. I think it's 4 wood makes 1 unit of biomass, right? 20 units. I mean, you craft once with it. And I'll just insert those in here. I don't have to hold them. Like that. And that'll all eventually become solid biofuel. That's nice and clean. Let's see here. I'm gonna need more iron plates. Say 4 stacks just to be sure. I'll go get some more rods. 300 reinforced is probably fine. With the flower petals, get more wire. 1, 2, 3, 400 iron plates. And where did I put my wire? Might not have extra wire here. I might have to go up to the 3rd floor and grab some wire. I guess I don't need it yet. I can wait till I actually need it. We'll grab some iron rods while I'm right near them. And that's where I'm going, so I'm not gonna run out. Yeah, I'll just... Oh, I was gonna dump these power shards. I don't really need them right now. Those back there. Yeah, and this has a designated spot that it actually belongs in now, so I can take those out of there. I don't really need to store copper ore. Keep those. I think things are as organized as they're gonna get around here. Let's stop stalling and go build that rotor machine. Alright, so I just gotta remind myself what actually goes into... I literally need rotors to start crafting assemblers to make rotors. Alright, I guess we're manually crafting a few rotors. I need screws, so I'm just gonna grab some of those off the conveyor real quick. Thank you. I need 100 screws is what I need. In that case, we're gonna grab some out of the machine. There we go. Now we got plenty. Make 4 of these. Here I am manually crafting again. This goes to show you that I need this rotor machine. Alright, so where are the assemblers? Okay. So if we're gonna make an assembler for rotors, what does it need? Put your chainsaw away. That's a waste of fuel. What does it need? It needs 20 iron rods per minute to 100 screws per minute. Did math on this already. Check my notes. My notes for machine 2. 180 rods per minute. That's 360 belts. Then we turn 25 rods per minute into screws. The other 20 stay as rods, and that turns into 4 assemblers making rotors. I mean, so basically it's 5 to 1. thing is, when we make screws, that is 4 to 1. So really it's... yeah, it's 25 to 20. How many iron rods does one machine produce per minute? 15. Oh, how do I math? Well, let's just do the totals. So if I'm gonna do 4 assemblers, that means I need 400 screws per minute and 80 iron rods per minute. How do I get 80 out of units of 15? I guess the easy approach would be to have a 120 belt and I take 40 off of it. So if I divide a 120 belt divided by 3, that gives me 40. I want 400 screws per minute, which means I need to be converting 25 rods per... no, I need to be converting 100 rods per minute. I had this math figured out, and now I don't. $20 plus 25 times 4, that is 180. Divided by 15 is 12 constructors making rods, which is what I have here, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so I did plan ahead for this. The question is, how many of those do I want to turn into screws? I want 400 screws per minute. 400 divided by 15. 26 2/3 is how many rods I want. What? Math. 20 to 25 ratio is rough. I've got to figure out how to do addition and subtraction using splitters and oh my god. I'm going to be running 4 assemblers. I want 400 screws. I want 100 rods turning into screws. I should just make 120 belt and subtract 20 off of it somehow. It's 180 divided by 3. 60. That'll give me... I need to add a 60 plus a 40, and that'll give me a 100 belt. I don't really want a 100 belt. I want 4 25 belts. 25 is 10 plus 15. I could add 2 15s to get a 30 and then split it into 3 10s. $100 on one side, and we want 80 rods, screws. We have 180 coming in as 15 times 12. You guys wanted to watch me do math on stream, right? Divided by... Oh. Uh, 6 times 15 gets me 90, then I just add a 10 to it. 6 15s and a 10. A 10 can come from a 30 getting split 3 ways, sending 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 15, 15. And then 15 times 4 is 60. 60, 70, 80. That's what I need. Oh boy, it's going to be a mess. Alright, so I'm having 6 15 belts go to screws, 4 15 belts go to rods, and 2 belts get added into a 30 belt, get split into 3 10 belts, 1 of which goes to screws, 2 of which go to rods. This is going to be a travesty, but let's do it. Math, am I right? And then those resulting belts, 180, just get split into 4, which will be trivial using 2 splitters. This is going to be a nightmare of adding and subtracting. Alright, so 6 times 15 is 90. That'll all fit on a single Mach 2 belt, no problem. Oh boy, and I've got... What is this machine doing again? This is one of my screw machines. This is going to be slightly in my way. That's fun times. That's okay. We want the first 6 belts. Yeah, we want the first 6 belts to all merge down to 1. So that'll be just start with a merger here. Let's start with a merger here. And get that as close as possible. That, but without being behind the power. Does that still work? No, it doesn't. I need to out 1 more space. Like that. Okay, so we're gonna get the first belts, the first 3 belts into here. So that's 15. Ah, I positioned it wrong. Go. 15. 30. Anyone that tuned in right now, just hearing me say numbers to myself, would think I'm having a stroke. That's 45 right there. And then we want to get 3 more. So we'll do the same thing with these 3. That. Is that? Yep, that's lined up properly. Nice, nice. 15, 30. Alright, we got 2 45s here. That'll give us a 90. And we just add 10. I want to bring this over. Yeah, I know, right? Just doing basic addition and completely doubting myself because engineers, we don't math. Let's put this right in the middle here. Is that in the middle? I don't know if that's in the middle. It's not in the middle. Bold of me to assume that the middle would be in line with my grid. I think that's about where it's... I don't know if I can put this in the middle. We're just going to get close enough. There we go. Now these are going to be 45s, so that can still use Mach 1. There we go. now it's going to be a 90, so from here on it's got to use Mach 2. I just got to add 10 more to this, and then I can... That'll all just go to screws. Screws need 25 each. I'm just going to merge and then split. I don't want to have to try and think about doing it any other more elegant way. So, Mach 2. No, get out of here. There we go. And I'll start with a little Mach 2 belt here as a note to self for later. I just gotta put the 10 in there. And then this will be a 100 belt. Alright, so next order of business is the slightly dicey part where I add 2 15s into a 30 and then split it into 10s. That shouldn't be that bad. So get one merger here. And we're going to get 15. And then right here. Yeah, the cherry blossoms are from one of my... Oh my god. How long have we just been looking at the cherry blossoms and not the stream of the game? Has that been like a long time? I've been I don't even want to check the stream history. I'm gonna go back and there's not gonna be... Oh my god. Yeah, that's a vacation photo from forever ago. Thank you for telling me. Because I always manage to stuff up my Satisfactory streams in some horrible way. So yeah, for anyone watching this in the future who just got done skipping the part where you were looking at my wallpaper for 5 minutes, I was doing math. These 15s become a 45. These 15s become a 45, become a 90. We're going to add another 10 to this, which we're going to get by adding these 15s into a 30 and then splitting it 3 ways. So that's what everybody missed, even people in the future. So we need a splitter here now. Split this into 3. That's okay. When I cut that part in the highlights, it'll cut a lot of the me talking to myself and just saying numbers. So that's a 30. It'll split into 3 10s, one of which is going to go to there to make a 100. Nice. And then these 2 are going to go to... These are just going to stay as rods. So these 2 can merge back together to make a 20 belt, which will add to 1, 2, 3, 4 over there. Let's just say add a merger right here. So that becomes a 20 belt going this way. I think I did that math right. 10, 10, 10, 20. So now these are just going to stay as rods, and I just got to get them into... what are the machines going to want? How many rods each? We're making 4 assemblers. Each one is going to want 20 rods per minute. So I could just keep those 10 belts as a 20 belt and have it go directly to one of the assemblers. And I'll add these together. 2, 3, 4. I've got... Oh, we need 20 belts. We've got 30, 60 here. That'll give us 3 more 20 belts. Yeah, I did the math right, surprisingly. 60. So I could do 30s that split 3 times into 10s and then remerge, or we could just merge them all into 160 and split it into 3. I think that's the smart play. So this belt's actually going to go just directly to one of the assemblers. Like that. Just a note to self for later. And then these are going to merge down to one. So we need to use 2 mergers. And they're going to just point towards the middle. Like so. Did I not leave? I did not leave enough space to get around the telephone pole. Oh, yes I did. Okay. No, I did not leave enough space to get around the telephone pole. Alright, we're gonna move this then. 7. Go, and I can't move. There we go. Merge that. Right, so that gives us a 30 belt, and then we'll do the same thing right here. Not 2, just 1. There's our second 30 belt, and then this can become a single 60 belt. Stop building 2 mergers, please. Nice. So then this will get split into 3 20 belts. Like so. Alright, so now we've got 4 20 belts for our assembler inputs. And over here we have, what is this, a 100 belt. That's going to turn into screws. So that side's ready for assemblers. Let's start our constructor array here to make this 100 into screws. I think we're going to want 25 screws for each constructor, so 4 constructors. Not quite. Wait a minute. Is it actually going to be 10 constructors just for screws? Oh my god. So I either need to overclock or I need to make 10 constructors just for screws. I could cut it down to 5 constructors by tripling the power input. No, I'd rather spend space once than power forever. So let's see how we can fit a, good lord, a 10 constructor array. That also means I need to split the belt into 10. Gross. That's a 10, that's a 45, that's a 45. There's not even a good way to, like, separate concerns and get 10 belts out of those earlier. I really should just merge to 100, split to 10s. These are 4 power each, times 10 is 40. So 40 power. Or I could do 12 times 5, which is 60 power. And then I only need to split into 5 even belts. But god, 5 is such a gross number too. No matter what I do, I've got to do some annoying math to break this into belts. Alright, we're gonna overclock. It will take... It's gonna take fucking 10 power shards, though. I mean, I have like 20. I shouldn't be so stingy. I could always double the number of constructors later. Yeah, no, it'll be an interesting challenge. We're gonna try and make a 10 constructor array. And it's gonna be a miserable experience, and I'm gonna regret it, but we're gonna see how it goes. And that's all gonna start from this belt. So... that a Mach 2 in there? Yeah, it is. Mach 2, Mach 1, that's fine. That needs to handle 90, and that's just 10. How the fuck am I gonna split into 10 belts? I mean, I guess I could just split 1 to 2, 2 to 4. And then if I triple them, I get 12 belts. How do I do a 1 to 5, a 1 to 10 splitter? If I can do a 1 to 5 splitter, I can just split each one into 2. So let's try and figure that out first. I'm gonna do it on paper. Let's find something pretty to look at while I do more math on paper. There's the moon. So I've got 1 belt. I need to go to 2, 3, 4, 5 belts. I can split into 3 even belts or 2 even belts. So what if I do 3 belts, and then the 2 can split into I need a load balancer is what I need. I'm not good at load balancers. I could look this up on YouTube, but that's lame. I want to try and engineer one myself. I know it's like you've got to intermingle the splitters somehow. Let's just say it's 50 input. So these would each end up being, I don't know, or would just say it's a 60 input. These each end up being 20. Can't even do the hypothetical math. $50 split to 25. 33, 33, 33. 0.3 repeating. If I shave off those 3.3 repeatings, those can add up into 110 belts. You've been playing for 2 hours. Shut up, fix it. How do math? I'm not really trying to split to 10 belts yet. I'm trying to split to 20 belts. Although either is valid. Okay, I can... I've got a 90, which I can split into 30, 30, 30, and this is already a 10. So, yeah, I've got to utilize my inputs better. It'll actually make things easier, not harder. I've got a 90 belt. I've got a 10 belt. I split the 90 back into 3 30s. And then I can split each of those into 3 10s. That gives me 9 10s, and then I've got a 10th 10 coming from over here, and there's my 10 10s that I need to feed my constructors. The trick was not to merge down to 1, the trick was to merge only most of it down. So, instead of a merger, I'm going to take this away. This is going to be a standalone 10. Right here, that's a 10. And this is going to be split into 3 30s. So right now, 45 and 45 make 90, and then splitter. Sure, it's a Mach 2 belt. And then splitter makes 3 30s, which then each gets split again into 3. So really it's just an encroachment problem at this point. I just need to make everything fit. Let's start with this middle one. This conveyor splitter gets fed right from here. Mach 1 belt is fine because it's only taking 30. So that's gonna be a 10. Oh my god, lag, please stop. Lag, please. There we go. That's gonna be a 10. And that's a 10. Now this is gonna want to do the same thing right next to it. We want to leave enough room to add those belts in. So how many spaces do we need to add those belts on the side? 1, 2, 3. Alright. 2, 3 more. Try adding my belt. Alright, nice, that fits. One, two, three. $30 becomes 3 10s. And I'll just do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps over. 3 comes in here. And come out each of these. Now we got 3, 6, 9, 10 belts of 10. There we go. And these can feed directly into constructors, which I will just pack in like sardines as close as I can while still being able to walk between them. I just gotta leave a bit of room for power lines and all that. What if I start by placing one right here? Just as close as it fits. And then can I fit another one next to it? No, only if we back up a few steps. How far do we gotta back up? Oh, I can't afford it is the problem. Let me go grab cables from the second floor. I'm out of cables. Need more wire? Maybe. I'll just top off the stack I'm holding. Got 2 stacks of cable, that should be plenty. Top off my wire stack, maybe bring a second stack just in case. Alright, back downstairs we go, preferably without falling on my head. I always feel the urge to look down in real life when I'm looking down in a game, and the same thing, I look up and kind of crane my neck when I'm looking up, to the point where if I'm playing Minecraft and I have to mine things on the ceiling, like my neck starts to hurt and it's just the dumbest shit. So it occurs to me that because of the way I need to feed these constructors, how tightly I've packed these in doesn't work, and that's annoying. But I can always expand these wings out a little further. So let's just start with, we're just gonna get a constructor in here as tight as we can without encroaching. I think right there probably. And then we're gonna start building a 10 constructor array from there. 2, hope these all fit. 3, and we're gonna hit this power pole so it needs to be moved. Oh my god, I cannot get on top of things. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing. We need to connect to that and to... Already made a mess of things. Alright, let me get an intermediate power pole in here. I have to disconnect something to make a new power pole here. That goes there. Skip this one, it's going to go next to the next one. I'm going to move this for temporaries because I don't want to actually disconnect anything. So it needs to connect to that and that and that. Just a temporary solution so I can get my blueprints back in place. Well, right now I'm just moving things around. This is just me trying to make everything fit pretty. At this point the math is over with. That was the hard part. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Need 7 more constructors. 4. 5, 6. But then watch this not fit. I'll be very sad. 8. It's taking up all the space where I was going to put assemblers. That's not good. 9. 10. Alright, so I've got enough space for 10 constructors, but clearly the assemblers are going to need to go in the next row, which means I need to make some space for a 4-lane bus to pass through this row. But let's see if we can get some of these connected before we worry about that. So, space this. Oh my god, it's gonna be such a mess to connect everything. I could always just double stack, but then I mean, if I make this taller, then I'm running afoul of my floor above. Can I just stack these on top of each other, or do I need to actually add? I would need to add a foundation on top, which is kind of gross. And I like my flat single floor layouts if I can make them work. Well, we're just gonna go left to right and see how neatly we can fit things. So I can move this. How is this machine runs afoul of itself? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because the rightmost branch needs to reach all the way over there. Oof. Well, if I back this up, I can make space for the left bus to reach all the way across. And then that one. How many are these? Oh, I keep written notes. These are all. I can find where I put that note. And 15's over here. 15, 15, make 45, 45, no, 30, 30, become 160, becomes 3 20s. These are 20s, these are for the direct inputs to the assemblers. It's like how this is a 20 for a direct input to the assembler. I need to get this back out of the way as much as possible. Alright, let's do this. splitter right here. This is taking in, what, 30? So a Mach 1 is fine. And then it's going to split down to 3 10s. That's a 10. And we want 2 of these to go to the right. Put a merger right here. Then we get there's already a belt in there, right? Very important that there's a belt in there. Yeah, there is. Alright. So we get 10, 20. Now, this is a 20, just like those over there. Now we're nice and compact out of the way. And I think what we can do is, rather than trying to go through the constructor row, let's just make a 4-lane bus that goes around the constructor row. And do I have enough room on the right for four lanes? I think I do. Bear pole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got plenty of room. So we want these to go over there as neatly as possible. Oops. That's easy peasy. We're just going to do one of these. That. This way to the assemblers on the next row. And we're going to get like this, which will go to something like that. This, because too many power poles just makes it look ugly in my opinion. So there. Now we've got 2 out of 4. Yeah, I totally have a notepad on my lap right now. Like, I've got the math for these belts written down because I would 100% forget it if I didn't. This belt here, is that as tight as it can get? I want to stick to 9-degree angles where possible. Like that. I think I could get this to loop tighter though. I'm going to try that real quick. Not what I just had, it might be. Whatever, that's good enough. Nice neat little loop, 3 belts over there. There we have it. 1, 2, 3, and we just need to get this one right here. Go. And we'll just make that one follow the curve as neatly as possible. Don't encroach. There we go. I don't like how much space that's taking up, but whatever. It's as neat as the design's gonna get with what I'm trying to do. And I'm realizing I might want to... No, really, it's this area that's encroached. I think I can fit 2 belts in there, though. I think that'll fit. Ugh, doesn't look like it's gonna fit to me. I will figure it out when I get to that. Alright, so here's our 4-belt bus. And, like, I could bump these to the right, but that's not gonna improve this clearance here. If it doesn't fit, I'll just turn this into a stacked bus. I'll have 2 by 2. Alright, so that's all my 20s going that way. Those are gonna stay as rods. The rest are gonna go as 10 belts into these 10 constructors. So let's start with the rightmost one, since that's gonna be the tightest squeeze. I already have an idea for how that's gonna work. Actually, it's gonna be real easy. I'm not gonna split until I get here. Just barely fits without encroaching. I like that. That's really nice. I think that's pretty. That'll be a 10. That'll be a 10. That's a 10. That means I just need to serve 30 into here, which can come from over there. So this is our 90 right here. Oh yeah, and I've got this 10 right here that's just by itself awkwardly. Where am I going to put that? I can put that in there. But I need to serve a 30 there. I really don't want to make belts jump over each other. Let's try this. I'm going to move this over 1 constructor. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. So I want the individual 10 to go in here. This little guy. I don't need the space. I can make that right angles. Nice clean right angles. I shouldn't say things like I don't need that space. That's famous last words territory right there. This just comes straight across. Then it has to go like this. Ew, don't overlap. Right, and then it just has to get in there. Oh, we're gonna make it. I can feel it. We're gonna make it. Nice clean right angles. There we go. Now this machine is going to get the right wing of the rightmost splitter. That. You go in there. It's going to cut. No, it'll... Yeah, it just barely works. I don't like how close those 2 corners are, but that's just me being extra super fussy. Not clipping that bad. It fits. The hard thing is that it fits. 1, 2. That goes in here. Of course, now I need to serve. Now I need to serve a 30 belt in here, and there's literally no way without jumping over. That's what we're going to do. We're going to jump over, and I'm going to hate it, but we've got to. So we're going to... like that. We literally... I either need to have more space or I need to jump, so we're going to jump. And it's not that ugly. It could be uglier. As long as the items look like they could in real life feasibly get underneath, then I don't hate it too much aesthetically. And now that this is up here, we can literally just cut right across. And we want to take this belt, I think. Yeah. So we just remade this over there. Yeah, I really like the option of being able to split either 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. It lets you do a lot of complicated math, but it does get very clunky, which is why I usually allow a few tiles worth of space between my rows. Yeah, smaller splitter that went 1 to 2. Like, I really like how, if you've played Factorio, they have really nice small splitters. But the downside of those is they only do 1 to 2, but you can stack a bunch of them together to make 1 to whatever you want, and it just, you get half as many on each row. What is this mess? Get out of here. Alright, so this is what that's a 45, 15, 15. Is that 15? No, it's 3 15s. Here's my 45 line. And then this is a 45 line. And then this is my 90 line. So this is the one that splits into 30s. That's a 30. That's a 30. We'll leave that one alone for now. This is what we want right here. That's what I was trying to find. This is the 30. And we're just gonna get in the correct row ASAP. Like that. I don't hate it that much. I mean, 3D lets you do... I mean, there's 3D in Factorio, too. It's just... it's either above ground or underground. I feel like it's not necessarily harder, but it's definitely a different thought process, 3D versus 2D. Okay, so I'm trying to connect that. Question is, at what point do I want to lift this so that it looks nice? I'm trying to connect like that. Is it already in the proper row? I can't tell. I think it's this row. I think that's the proper row already. I'd like this to stay clear for walking path, maybe, so I can also just jump over it if it's on the ground. I think I'll have it lifted for as little time as possible, so we're just going to go straight across. And then I'll lift it maybe right here. It's gonna be too steep. Also, I didn't actually lift it. Does this encroach? I don't like that. I'm very fussy about how my belts end up looking too. So that's gonna go to... that is not in the correct row at all. Needs to be in this row. This out of the way, and this, and let's just do one of these. Right, that's the steepest it can be. Perfect. Now we reverse the direction so that it's going uphill. Now we want this belt to be this. There we go. That. And I'll come here and go up the hill. And we just connect straight across. That'll serve 30 in here. which will give me 3 10s for these 3 constructors. That's a 10, that's a 10, that's a 10, that's a 10. I kind of like how that looks. When you start layering it a little bit, as long as it still looks tidy, it's like a nice industrial feel. Alright, so next set, this splitter has to serve these 3 over here, and of course the easiest way to do that will be to actually put the splitter over here, same as the other one. You're gonna think this is just the worst, but I haven't actually played Fallout 4 yet. I haven't played Fallout that much, mostly just a little bit of the second one and a little bit of the third one. Got 10, 10. Actually wasn't aware that there are factories in Fallout 4. Alright, nice. So then this can just come from there to here. So it was like Factorio Light, but also you get to shoot people more often. Alright, so like that. Here's my 30 belt. That just needs to go right in there. Yeah. Do one of those curves. Oh, don't do that. That's gross. There we go. And that'll serve 30 in here, 10 to each of these. And then I just gotta serve these 3 with this belt. Yep. So same deal. We'll just put a splitter. Oh my god! Well, look at what is that? Stop. There we go. I'll go like that. Yeah, I've definitely heard that the mod scene is where it's at with not just, I mean, Fallout, but obviously Bethesda games in general. So if I ever feel the urge to play Fallout 4, I will make an effort to kind of turn it into Satisfactory. I promise I just don't have the time for huge open world games. I need a more focused experience because, like, I'm so busy and I've got so many video games I need to be playing. There's just so many good ones out there. Alright, so I think our, good lord, our 2 to 10 splitter is finally good. God, what a mess. I'm just gonna climb a ladder real quick and see what an awful mess I've made. I want to see how it looks. I'm not gonna change it, but I'm curious what monstrosity I've created. Oh, and I've fallen off the ladder. It's not a satisfactory game if I don't do that every 10 minutes. This actually looks pretty nice, I think. Like, it got a little wacky in here, but everything's pretty clean. Yeah, I don't hate that, surprisingly. Because I like it, I'm worried the universe conspires to take it from me, so we're going to save the game right now. Alright, so we've got all of these fed with 10 bars per minute each. Now we need to set up all the recipes and set up all the power. And that's easy enough. We're just going to run down the line and tell them all to make screws. We got our 4 belts of bars here. These are 20 each. And these are going to make 40 screws each. Times 10 is 400. Count them. 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 constructors all set up for screws. So now is the time to figure out how we actually want these power poles to look, which is to say we want them orderly and nice and pretty and not uggos McGross. Did I take anything offline by accident earlier? That's powered. Machine 1 is powered. Alright, so this is going to be pretty standard fare. Main power is coming in from there. Then it just has to connect to this. So we're going to start with... That's already in the right spot, surprisingly. I think I planned that out earlier. And we skip this machine and we put one here. And we skip this machine and we put one here. It's the beginning of our line. So this needs to go forward and back and across. So I'm thinking instead of actually connecting to one of these, this should just be an interrupt. Because these are already going to be pretty busy. These are going to be fully wired up. So I think we're just going to put this... Just put this guy right in here. Right, so that goes across. And then it needs to go back to here. Needs to go forward to... Really don't want to mess up my power grid. Forward to there. That's connected to power. And this is still connected to power. Good lord, what a tangle. So now we just need someone to take responsibility for this wire right here. This can connect to the end of our line. Wait, this is already connected to this. And then this is connected to basically nothing, right? I can just disassemble that, I think. I don't think I accidentally shut off half the factory. So that's going to power machines. That powers next row. This powers the next and previous. I think we're okay. This powers 2 and continues down the line. This will power those 2. Those 2. Skip that one. Those 2. Power line here. And here. Let's see if we can hook everything up. I think that worked. Let's make sure all the machines are green. Green, 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 green. Good, good, good. Now these are yellow, which means they're powered, but currently the lines are jammed, so they're not going to keep crafting. But as long as they're not red, we're good. Right, cool. I think I successfully added a row without borking the power grid. We're going to need one more row here for assemblers. So the last step is we want how many screws per minute per assembler? We're going to make 4 assemblers. Each one wants 100 screws per minute, which means it's going to want I need to get these 40s merged back down into 100 lines, which will be fun. So that's going to be 2 40s plus a 10. We're going to have 10 40s. God damn it, math. Here I go again. Where's my pen? Did I drop my pen? I swear I just had a pen. There it is. To write more arrow charts. I'm running out of paper. This notebook is full and I literally need to scrounge up a blank one. Alright, so input is 40 lines times 10 belts. And that needs to go into 4. I literally need to make a 10 to 4 now. It's going to be such a miserable headache. And that needs to go into 10 100 part per minute belts times 4 belts. Who's texting me? Okay, so I can get 100 from 40 plus 10. So if each of these takes 2 40s, that'll be 8 40s and 2 left over. So 80 parts per minute left over. That needs to become... Oh, no, I need 40, 40, 20 for each machine. So the remaining 2 40s get split into 20s, and then they each serve one machine to finish it out. Okay, so how am I going to lay this out? Obviously the two 40 belts can just merge in, and they each need to be fed by 3 belts, so that'll just be one merger. I've got to produce... I just got to split once somewhere in the middle for 2 of the belts. And since there's 4 assemblers, I can just do the split on 2 of the positions. Alright, I'm going to start laying it out, and we'll just adjust as we go. So... 1, 2, we got 10 here. I'm just going to give myself lots of space, and then I'm going to wing it. Or, I mean, I don't know how much space I need yet. Let's just start on some splitting. So, let's say I need to split 2 out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about this, the center 2? Get split, and that'll determine how much space I need. Yeah, let's just split these 2. Not going to overthink it, just going to go. Always relay things later if it doesn't work great. I'm going to try and conserve space at the outset, though, because I foresee myself making a mess if I don't. That is clear of the telephone pole. I'm going to place this one like that as well. So this is going to be 40 parts per minute. Comes in here. Parts per minute. And can I fit 2 belts here? No, no, not without it being super gross looking. No, never mind that. I'm just gonna have it go the classic one to the side and one straight forward. Like that. And same thing on the other side. Alright, so there's our 20 belts, and the rest is just serving 40s directly to each assembler. And we got plenty of space, so we're not going to merge until right before the assembler. So we're just going to start in the middle. Am I across from? Yeah, that's the middle. And we're going to try and make sure we have enough space, and we're just going to see how it goes. Well, that's as far as I can go on this level without literally extending the entire floor, so we're going to stop there and see if we have enough space. In fact, I kind of want to back up by one, because I don't like how it's hanging off the ledge. We're going to back that up by one. I can't construct more than one at a time, because I'm missing rotors. It's fine. How did that go? No longer hanging off the ledge as bad. I'm going to have to probably extend this foundation anyway because I need outputs. How's that going to mess with my... These lifts are fine because they don't actually come up here, they just go underneath to the other side. I'll just have to move this ladder is all. I don't want to try and do it with less space than this because, ew. I turned that the wrong way, didn't I? I need the inputs on this side. And maybe I should make it so that it's going to take this and then two of those. Yeah, I'm gonna bump this to the left, but the right input lines up with the thing I'm standing on. That belt can go straight across, and whatever, I'll fix that later. We'll see how this looks. The merger here. Make sure it actually lines up. That did not line up. That lined up. There we go. This, of course, is going to be feeding in 100 per minute, so this needs to be a Mach 2 belt. I don't know how I'm going to get all this to gel. But for now, I can just connect 20. And I just need to feed in 40 on 40 here and here, and that needs to go around. That's not going to work. That'll work. I think I'm going to need more space than this, but let's try and feed in 2 more machines and see what happens. This needs to get an input from all the way over there. I feel like I should already give this more space, because I don't even have enough room for 4 blocks here. It's gonna be a nightmare to lay out. I should have tried to interweave the iron belts through the row instead of going all the way around the row. But I like how it looks and I'm not changing it now. What if I turned the... if I did it at a pivot? What if I compressed these? No, because if I add them down more, I've got to do more math to pull them apart again. Well, I know I want an 80 plus a 20, so I can merge 2 belts right as they come out into an 80 belt. The only consequence of that is I need to use Mach 2 sooner, which, whatever, it's not like they're expensive anymore. Yeah, I feel like that's the best possible scenario. Let's do that. 7... so that's 40. 40. This is going to make an 80 belt.
An empty house. And suddenly in the middle of the night, there was this huge noise. Cars, people shouting, music.
We'll do the same.
Drugs. And something quite unexpected had hit them.
Do the same thing right here. There's 40 on top of the belt, please. And there's 80, right? This is going to need to go somewhere else now, and this needs to come in here. And oh my god, this is already going to be a mess. What if that... I'm going to have to elevate this. Now we'll just leave it there. And we're going to say this goes... like that. Goes like that. There is our, that needs to be a Mach 2. What am I doing? There's our 80 input. And there's our 20 input. And then this just needs to receive rods. I think what I'm going to do for the rods is I'm going to have one elevated belt come all the way down the line and just drop in on the 4 assemblers. That'll be the cleanest way to do it. Except it's going to be 4 belts that are going to need to be elevated, so we'll see if it goes okay. I think it's going to be a mess. Alright, so this needs to get over Nya. I need to handcraft more rotors so I can even make another assembler. Let's just do all 12 we need right now. $10, $11, $12. There we go. Alright, so we got this whole space to work with. We don't need to put these assemblers right next to each other. Let's say... so right here we got... let's try and equally space it on the other side of this power pole. Here we got 1, 2, 3 space of clearance. 1, 2, 3, like that. Is that even? Doesn't look even. Say, let's go one more to the side. There we go. That's lined up. That looks approximately equal. I need that belt to come here. Preferably in a non-ugly fashion. Get myself a conveyor pole and lift. Oh, gross. How's that gonna look? Not good, but not terrible. Let's get our merger set up. This, yeah, that needs to be a Mach 2. It is. Mach 2 right here. Okay. These don't need to be a Mach 2 because this is just a 10 belt, a 20 belt rather. I don't like how that looks, but if I at least apply some right angles, maybe it'll be less unpleasant to look at. Like one of those. Why is that? Oh, it's encroaching. Encroaching this box I'm standing on. That's slightly less ugly, right? I'm just gonna tell myself that's less ugly than it was, and we're gonna just move on. So that's got a 20 line. Now it just needs an 80 line, which is right here. That doesn't line up. What happens if I just do this? Mildly gross. Is that what I did over here? I did a right angle, and then I just completed it. Let's do that here as well. You know, it doesn't look that much different, and I don't know. Why over-engineer literally everything? I do want it to match, though. That's fine. So now this is getting 80 here. That needs to be a Mach 2 belt. And to make sure I used a Mach 2 belt here. All this throughput math doesn't matter if I use the wrong belt and it can't move the units. That needs to be, that's Mach 2. 2. That can be 1. That can be 1. That's a 40. That's a 40. This is an 80, so it needs to be Mach 2. 40, 40, 80, 80. I'm just always paranoid I'm going to get the wrong belt and stuff it up because they look like identical. Alright, so that's got... At what time? It's already midnight and I'm still playing video games. I had other stuff to do tonight. That's my 20. That's my 80. Now it's a 100. There, we're getting 100 a minute on screws. And that is half of the assemblers. Goody. Alright, so let's go do the same thing on the other side. Here's our 20s right here. Gonna make our 40s real quick, or our 80s real quick. These are all in a line, right? Yeah. There we go. Did I make them both flowing inwards? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Means this one goes here as well. Alright, so these will now both produce 80s. And I'm going to start the assembler across from the 20s. Like that, right? That even? Yeah, for the most part. And then the second one, where does the second one go relative to this row? Second one is across from the second constructor, or the third constructor? Third constructor, it's got its right port across from. So third constructor, left port goes across from there. Left port, third constructor. Alright, that's about symmetrical, I think. I'm not going to agonize over it, but I think it's about symmetrical. He says in agony. Alright, so now I need merger right here. Like that. And this needs a Mach 4 belt. Like that. And this is just a regular conveyor because it's only moving 20. Oh, gross. Don't like that. I don't like that. If I was to just go... Alright, I've got a slight redesign that'll help. So this 80 belt come in here instead. Look at that. And then this 20 belt come straight across, which was the original intention. Just like that. That means this 20 belt can do the same thing. That's a Mach 2, that's a Mach 2. I feel like this belt is longer than that belt. Doesn't matter. So now the 80 comes in from the side, going out from the front of the 80. Mach 2 belt comes into the side. Only downside of this is it's limiting the clearance right here. So what I could do is one of these. and then it doesn't frickin' work. Let's try that again. That. Now we've got a little more clearance here, admittedly not much. That was done with a right angle and then complete the belt. The right angle coming from here. Like that, I think. Something like that. I don't know. It looks... It's gonna bother me, but it's close enough. That's 20. That's 80. And 100 in here. That's the screws for that machine. How did I configure the belts for this outer machine? Just straight across and ugly jump into the side, front and side. What was that? That was on the inner port. Yep. And then where's the output on this? There's 80. Is that how I did it on that last one? Front to front. Yeah, pretty much. And it's just one auto-completed belt. And we do this ugly jump to get the 20 line over. So the second 20 line comes from... This is a 40. That's going to be a 20, and this is going to be a 20. This is going to get over here. We do something like this. How did I do that last time? Just inside that curve, power pole. Like that, I think. And then we go across and we get back down as quickly as possible. Like that, I think. It's kind of encroaching in a gross way. I had more clearance on the other side. It was like that. I feel like that's worse. Why is that so much worse? Hey, that kind of works. Kinda. There's our second 20. Coming down here. Just autocomplete. Mark 2. Now this has 100. That's all four have 100 screws per minute each. Good lord. Out of water. Now I just gotta get those 4 belts of 20 rods each in here. I really want to finish this machine tonight, but I really should have been done streaming an hour ago. This always happens when I play Satisfactory. Well, I'm probably not streaming it again for a while, so let's just finish up this machine and see it make some damn rotors. Alright, so we just gotta try and find a neat little way to get 4 belts to 4 machines without making a huge goddamn mess of everything. I think I want to double stack them to make life a little easier. Well, the first thing we can do is we're going to take this innermost belt and connect it to that right there. Nice and neat like. These are just regular belts, right? Yeah, they are. Like that. And then another pole goes right to here. Can't afford. I've been doing so much that I literally ran out of iron plates. We're gonna go get more. Oh, this chest. Alright, let's get back over there. Alright, so let's just complete this belt real quick. That's gonna finish serving this first machine. Got 3 belts left. Second one's gotta go right here. So what I'm thinking is, I'm gonna let it stack on top of this belt. Right here. And get my stackable conveyor pole. Otherwise known as ladders, which is what I've been using them for. Yep, just like that. Have this guy come over. That's gross, that's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna have to fall off a cliff here. I'll have to back this up a bit. This tree, like, I don't want to cut down this big tree, but it's super in my way. And it's going to be inside the second floor of a 3-floor factory. I think it's time to accept that this tree has to go. Now I can finish my floor, which has been bothering me forever. Sorry, big tree. How much wood did we get? 25. Not bad. Alright, so now we can finally get a belt over here and actually focus on what we're doing. So let's try here for a stackable pole. I need that to be a little steeper because I don't like how it's intersecting. But will it say it's too steep? That is the question. Oh, it's still intersecting all gross like. Just want it. Guess I'm gonna have to make this rise up sooner. What's the narrowest I can make this turn? Can put that one more to the right, though. Oh, not what I meant to do. There we go. Alright, that rises. Now we can make that steeper if possible. That way we don't have to have it up in the air for longer than it needs to be. Right, remove these. Now this can connect to here. And that goes up. Do I want to just stack, just keep stacking? Just make it 4 tall? That would be goofy. Well, for now, let's get this all the way across and see how far we can go. Not even letting me place the... Just trying to place one of these guys. There, now it places. I don't really like how it intersects that, but it doesn't look too terrible. I think there's precedent for... I did this pattern elsewhere. And then we're going to come down to ground level in short order. Like that. And then we're going to go right in the door before we encroach other stuff. Is it possible to get a nicer curve there? Yeah, it is. Let's do that then. And there we have it. That belt is not super pretty, but it's not too ugly, I don't think. How many are these each? These are, what, 25s or something? No, they're optimized for my assemblers. Let's just check what those were. I feel like I could have merged and then split these belts to have fewer belts to deal with. These are taking 20 per minute. So I could have merged it to a single 80 belt and then split twice. Just that I had all this going on. 20, 20. Yeah, you know what it is? I split way too frickin' early. I split the 60 into 3 20s. Then that was a 20. I could have just done a single belt. No, I mean, honestly, that approach is much more sensible than what I did. I was just like, lots of belts pretty. I didn't really think about the consequences. I could just keep stacking and be super stubborn, or I could reduce the belts down to single. But at some point I'm gonna have to split twice anyway, which would happen right here. I'd have to split twice here and then still serve these separate things, so like... I don't know, I guess it doesn't make a difference whether I use separate belts or not, because the only point where they're gonna merge would be from here to there. It's like, whatever. Might as well just get to stacking sooner. How high can these poles go? 1, 2, oh yes, 3. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be gross. Alright, so let's get one of these. 1, 2, nope, not 1, we want 2. 2, and we'll see how soon we can land that. Right there. Reverse the belt direction though. There we go, and put you right on there. Hey, not yet. We're gonna delete this and this. I'm gonna make that a single belt. There we go. And it's gonna go upstairs. Now we're going to stack this conveyor pole. And we're going to go like, yeah. That's kind of pretty, huh? I don't hate that. I'm going to have to do more stacking over there, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, this is going to have to turn into a stackable conveyor pole instead of a conveyor pole. Does that still fit? It's kind of clipping there, which I hate, but... gross. I just want everything to be pretty. That's all I want. I want it pretty. What if we, just for show, we put a conveyor pole here? Does that still clip? What if we put it literally right here? It clips a little less. Fine, we'll do that. And then it's going to have to extend to over there. I mean, really the only actual rule we're trying to follow is we want to avoid the belt too long limitation, where it just doesn't let us build the belt. But I also want it to look pretty because I'm a fussy baby. Alright, that's looking okay. I don't hate that. And then we'll just go to here. We'll make this stackable right off the bat, because we know we're going to have to run one more above this. What would it look like if I brought this down now that I... Please no. Alright, there we go. Hey, that doesn't clip. That can come down, and that can become the second floor, now that that belt's out of the way. And then the fourth floor can go to here. I'm not hating this. I felt like I was going to hate this a lot more. But it's looking nice and industrial. Alright, same pattern once again. This time we go up 1, 2, 3 floors. There we go. See how quickly that can land. That'll be like right about there. Nice. Remove this and make that a single belt. Nice, and make that go up to there. And get a stacked conveyor pole right there. And I need to get out of the way because I'm preventing the construction. There we go. Nice and level. Yeah, that is a 4 stacked conveyor belt. Just because I could. And then this, excuse me, if it would stop pushing me. Now we've got a ladder that I can fall off of. Splendid. This is going to go to here, but first we want to prop it up a little higher here. Please stop that. There we go. Beautiful. Just a wall of conveyor belts. A mighty wall. Conveyor belts to get the iron rods to where they need to be. Alright. Nice. So now I just need to feed this one into there and that one into there. How did I land that one? That just came down as soon as it was past the screws. It's gonna come real close. Let's just see if I can just do it. No, it's gonna... Ew. Alright, let's try this. Let's try... First we grossly stack on top of this. to the left. Nope, it clips way worse. We're just gonna let that clip. Yeah, we're coming down to the wire and I need to go to bed soon. Right, that surprisingly doesn't clip on top of the splitter. And of course it's too steep. You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna do... conveyor lift does not fit. Oh, that's sad. Okay. We're gonna do a conveyor lift over here. And of course it's going in the wrong direction. But that's okay, because now we can... Alright, do one of these. I mean, I like things to be next to each other but not clipping, so if the clipping's minimal, I don't hate it. You know, as long as it's kept to a minimum. I really don't like that I have to use a single lone elevator here to make this work. I really want to try and figure out a different way to make this work. Need to get that guy into there. It's like, it's too steep. If we just come down and then... Yeah, it clipped in an okay way. I don't hate that. This is gonna... Whatever I do here, it's gonna be bad day at the office, though. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, we're trying to bring the wrong belt in. We want this one. Now it clipped in the same fashion as the earlier one, so that's fine. It's still too steep, though. Have that there for later. I seriously just want a 9-degree angle that goes downhill. Is that too much to ask? What if I do this and make it come uphill? I'm so close. Maybe if I optimize this splitter a little bit, or this merger rather. I already optimized this as much as I could to get more clearance. I feel like I'm gonna have to just suck it up and use an elevator. Yeah, maybe if I just come out and come back, maybe that would look okay. Mouse wheel, I'm asking you to turn, please. Okay, yeah, no. No. Oh my god. Like, normally if you just say go here to here, it'll do something ugly, but it'll work. But it's like I need to make a sharp turn, and it does not want to make a sharp turn. And I don't want to admit defeat and just back all the assemblers back one step, because the rest of the design is fine. It's just this one connection. Like, this one's got plenty of space. This one's going to be okay. These connect their splitter on the left side. I could break with symmetry and have these also do that, and then the rods could just come in before the splitter instead of after. I don't think that would look too ugly. That would just mean that this belt would go left and that belt would... I really like how this looks, though. I wish I could make it work. Alright, we're just gonna try moving the splitter. Or the merger, rather. Because I need to do other things before I have to go to bed. we're just going to get this done in the fashion that works. And this is going to be a Mach 2 belt. This can be a regular belt because this is the, oh my god, for real. This can come in here, I guess. Nice, that's our 20. Need to get our 80 in here. Nobody wants to help me. This is just... Please just... Oh my god, seriously? I could back the splitter up a step against the machine. Then it's not going to match the other ones, and I either have to make it match or live with it not matching. Oh my god. See, this is the kind of over-engineering, nothing fits type of puzzle I was doing on the power plant, where I just sit there fussing with it until I find something super elegant, but it takes way longer than any reasonable person would ever spend on it. I could turn this merger output to the right and go that way. Or I could just make it come in here. Let's just make it come in here. Hey, that works. So let's try and make it look pretty though. There we go. It's a little better. I'm just gonna move the belt that's jumping over it. That's our 80. Right? That's coming in from 40 and 40. 80. That's why this is a Mach 2 belt. This Mach 1 brings in 20. We get 100 there. I just want to adjust this belt, because now this belt is not clearing properly. And this, before we fuss with more stuff, let's make sure this actually connects. Of course it doesn't. But that's okay, because we can back this conveyor pole up a bit. Which is going to make this clipping a little uglier, but whatever, I'll do what I have to do. Alright, miraculously that still doesn't clip ugly. You get in there. Yes! Finally! Connection number 3. Alright, now we'll just change the topmost belt so that it's sitting on the new conveyor pole. So the thing about the best belts is you don't unlock them till later, and they're very expensive. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to match the number of units to the inputs on the next row. So delivering more units faster doesn't help if you don't have the units to be delivered. So if I've got this machine outputting 40 per minute, it doesn't matter if I put a 270 parts per minute belt, it's still only going to spit 40 per minute. There's just going to be more space in between them because the belt's moving faster. So really it's about connecting these output numbers to these input numbers, and the belts are just the intermediary. And part of what I'm trying to do with this playthrough is actually care about those optimization problems, because they lead to interesting self-inflicted puzzles like this. Whereas if I was just like, slap it together, make it work, it would be less efficient, it would be less pretty, and there would be fewer interesting puzzles, which leads to me getting bored faster. So really it's not about the end result of getting the parts, it's about, you know, making a pretty factory. That's why I did this stupid ass thing, even though I probably could have used a higher capacity belt and then split later. The efficiency isn't actually getting the job done faster. The efficiency is conceptual. Yeah, I mean, that's how I did my first playthrough, is I was just doing a lot of manual crafting to limp to the next milestone. And ultimately, I got to the end of the content faster, and it wasn't as interesting a journey. Like, this overwrought, over-engineered machine has been an interesting way to spend an evening. Just need to make one more connection there, and there was one that I was going to circle back to that I'm forgetting. Where is it? This guy has his 20. Oh yeah, this jump over belt I was going to adjust because I don't like that clip. So this is just a standard. What if I just did from here to here? What would that look like? See, that's in the air longer than it needs to be, but I don't hate how it looks. Let's try one more time though, now that we have more space. Let's try just putting a higher conveyor pole here. And then goes down to there. And, you know, it could be better, could be worse. I'm going to stop fussing with it. Alright, so we got our 80 in here. Yep, we got our 20 in here. That's 100. That's fed. We just need to feed that one last input over there. So we're gonna put a stacked conveyor pole somewhere around here. It fits without clipping. Kinda. Yeah, I don't hate that. That's what I was doing before on the other one. I'm gonna let this guy post on down to here and see how that looks. I kind of like how that flows. Of course, do we want to move this to that input to match what I just did to its partner? I think I'd like to make it match. Oh, should we need to adjust this stupid belt again? Yeah, because we're gonna have the same problem if we try to jump over this. I got all turned around with that lag. Alright, so let's take this guy and game, can you, there we go. 4 belts in there. That replaces that. And then this guy, that should be a Mach 4, goes right here. Let's make it look pretty. There we go, nice and pretty. And then we want that little awkward jump over belt to come over here. What we can do is we're going to turn this conveyor pole. There's a conveyor pole when I need one. I'll just use my inventory. Turn this like this. That can go like that. And that can go in there. I kind of don't like how close it's encroaching that input though. So let's try instead to go in there. And I think we can make this prettier if we make it descend sooner. That. Nice. It doesn't perfectly line up, but okay, we'll do one of these. There we go. That fits. And I've got lots of clearance to put this in here. Double check my belts because I'm paranoid. Mach 2, Mach 2. These can all be Mach 1s, doesn't matter. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do is we just got to get this input into there now. So let me just... Yeah, I'm going to put a stackable right here. Nice and close. Alright, that's got good clearance. And we'll just land that ASAP. Clearance is good. Oh, we're almost done because the belts are getting very convoluted. Right, and that will serve rods to here. Okay, oof, I think that's all our inputs. That should be 100 screws, 20 rods, just like it wants. Same thing here. Same thing here. Same thing here. Now we just gotta power everything and collect the outputs, and that is the machine, and I'm going to go do something else with the rest of my night. So the power grid should be easy. We're just going to make another row. I've got to extend my factory out a tile. I don't think it's going to... It's not going to encroach anything important. We just got to take down this ladder is all. I'm not going to bother expanding it all the way across because I like having these kind of exposed. We can even put a new ladder right here. There we go. So let's do all of these. Given that the copper floor is going to be largely empty for a while, I might take it over to create advanced components, because all these rotors and reinforced plates are going to eventually turn into stuff for the space elevator. Anyway, this should be producing a total of 16 parts per minute, so these can all just merge down to one very standard belt with no problems whatsoever. Let's get this power grid expanded back out. So first off, I noticed this could be a much straighter line if I connected to... Nope, that doesn't have a free slot. Gotta be this one. We're just gonna leave that. We will back this up so it's actually like out of the way. There we go. To the new pole, connect down there, make sure we got power. Yes, we do. Right, and now this can connect to two more, so we're going to go to here, and we're going to go to over here. This guy can, I actually want that to be here, like the constructors have. This guy goes to here, goes to here, goes to there, and connect to you. Actually, I can just connect directly since this row isn't continuing further. That should be all of our assemblers have power. They should start assembling rotors straight away, as you can see. And now we just want to merge them all down to a single box, which I will place why not just put it right in here? We can always move it later if we decide we don't like it. Because there's a power pole in the way and it's going to be a pain in the ass. Now we'll just put it here, close to where I'm having other things stored. Actually, we're going to put a merger right here. Is that clear of the power pole? You better believe it's not. Yeah, it's not. It needs to be one more to the right. Is that clear of the power pole? Yes, it is. Did I put the output on the right side? Yes, I did. Very nice. Now this will be collecting just 16 per minute. So that standard belt is fine. You collect in here. There's our first rotors. There they are. Oh, they are beautiful. Happy to see you, rotors. Alright, so now we just need a couple more mergers like that. So this one is going to go here. And collect rotors like that. Beautiful. And then forward on to the next one. Go that way. Beautiful. I think this is the last merger we need. Collect rotors there. Collect rotors here. And collection. So, wow, look at them all. They had a they had a bunch of supplies stockpiled ahead of time. This will now produce 16 per minute. Not bad. Oh, I think that is going to just about do it for me tonight. Let's just get an overview of what we've done, and then I am signing off. Seems like a good enough spot for a bird's eye view. Alright, so, goodness gracious. I should have stood further to the right so we could see the layers of this belt better. So to summarize, we have... Oh my god, game, stop lagging, I know. We have 12 constructors here, and they merge down, and they split, and they do this whole nonsense with math, and they go into 10 belts of 10 rods per minute, which become screws, and 4 belts of 20 rods per minute, which remain rods. All things said and done, we get our 400 screws per minute, and we keep our 80 rods per minute, so that each assembler gets 20 rods and 100 screws per minute, resulting in a grand total of 4 rotors per minute, which is not a lot, all things said and done. Finally, we get 16 rotors per minute into this box until the box is full. And yeah, that's the project. It's, good lord, kind of big. Very unwieldy. This is machine 1 for refined plates. It completely dwarfs machine 1. Like, good lord. I thought this could be less complicated. Yeah. The next thing I'm going to attempt is modular frames. I don't even want to think about how that's going to go, because it's going to probably be a pain in the ass. I'm going to play a prank on future me and save the game right here, so that the first thing I do when I load up next time is fall off this ladder. Anyway, that's going to be about do it for me. I still need to go to the bathroom and get more water, so I'm going to let the factory run for a minute, and then I'm going to sign this off. Thank you for watching. And I just dropped my microphone. Mr. Silver, do not smash the house. Alright, so that's gonna about do it for me tonight. I gotta go do like vacation planning and other garbage. So thank you very much for watching. I normally don't have viewers live in real time, like at all. So this was a nice change of pace. And I'm gonna go stop playing Satisfactory before I hit the 4-hour mark. Have a good evening.